Hello and welcome. My name is Karina Paxinos. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to be taking you through a kind of full body, deep hip and front line and back line opening class. So we will be working through the hips to bring about a sense of fluidity and mobility, and then we'll also be working into the shoulders, the lower back, and the back line of the body, so forward folds and back bends. So this is a complete full body gentle flow. All that you'll need for today's class is a strap. If you don't have a strap, you can also use the carry strap that you have on your mat. And if you have sensitive knees, just perhaps grab something like a blanket or something soft to pop underneath the knees. Before we begin, I just want you to come into a comfortable seated meditative pose. So finding a soft length through the spine, allow the hands to rest lightly in the middle of the lap. And as you root down through the sitting bones, just find a soft length through the spine. Notice a softening in the breath, a slowing of your exhalation. Good. And then as you arrive in the space, so you've landed in the space, we take one long, slow, deep breath in. Exhale, audible sigh out. We'll do that again. Take one long, slow, deep breath in. Exhale, big sigh out. Good. When you feel ready, peel the eyes open. We're just starting with a gentle roll through the neck, so chin comes down towards collarbone. Option to move in a semicircle or a full circle. Just taking any movements that you feel that will release the neck or the spine. Keep staying with this sensation of flow for 5, for 3, for 1. Inhale, slowly rise up through center, come back to neutral. Let the hands rest on the tops of the knees or the thighs. Shoulder shrug forward, exaggerate the motion for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Change direction, lift the shoulder heads up and back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hook the hands at the fronts of the knees or the shins, seated cat-cow. So as we inhale, roll the shoulder heads back, bend into the elbows, look up. As you exhale, shoulder shrug forward, hollow out through the belly, lean back. 3 more rounds. Inhale to pull forward, use your breath as your guide. Exhale, shrug forward, hollow out, lean back. Last round, inhale, pull the heart forward, bend into the elbows, look up. As you exhale, shrug forward, hollow out through the belly, lean back, holding your exhalation here for 3, for 2, for 1. Inhale, slowly lift up through center. Now, I usually love to practice these spinal articulations before any practice. So if you've done my videos before, you'll be familiar with these. If not, I want you to learn to trust your body and the way that its intelligence knows how to move. So imagining that I've placed a rectangle around the diaphragm, I want you to touch all 4 corners of that rectangle with your diaphragm, moving in the right direction. First, you'll touch the front right corner, the back right corner, left back, left front. So front right, back right, left back, left front. If this movement starts to become more fluid, it may feel far more circular. And when I say circular, I mean as though you've got a hula hoop. So you'll keep pressing the heart forward and keep sending it back. Keep staying with this for 5, for 4, 3, for 1. Inhale, slowly come back up through center. Take a moment. Take a deep breath in and a gentle sigh out. Now moving in the opposite direction. So front left, back right, front left, back right, front right. Keep staying with this sensation of flow, moving in one direction for 5, for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, slowly rise back up through center. Take a gentle breath in and a soft breath out. Good. Peeling the eyes open, we'll be starting today's class, the physical part, on the back. So I want you to recline all the way back on your mat. And I want you to hug the thighs in towards the chest. Nose in towards the knees, create a tiny ball out of the body. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, bring the soles of the feet together, coming into your Supta Baddha Konasana option. One hand on heart, one hand on belly, or you can keep the hands just supporting the nape of the neck. I really like this sensation. I've got the sun in my eyes and just a gentle stroke of the back of the neck. If this doesn't feel comfortable for you, keeping one hand on heart and one hand on belly, and allow the passage of the breath to start from the lower palm, reaching all the way to the palm that's closest to the collarbones. And then as you exhale, feel the passage of the breath relieve down in the same way. So as you inhale, lower hand will rise up. Second palm will rise up. As you exhale, first palm will lower down. Second palm will lower down to follow. Just take the next 5 long, slow, deep breaths, just simply observing how this feels. If you do start to feel a little bit of a pinching sensation, please do feel free to bring the knees closer together, give the hips a little bit of a rest, and then slowly allow the knees to press out towards the side. We should have about 3 more long, slow, deep breaths. And there's no rush for this class. I really want you to feel the honey of this class. Good. On your next inhale, slowly squeeze the knees closer together. Hug the right thigh in towards the chest and extend your left heel towards the top end of the mat. And I want you to hug, so clasp around the front of the knee or the shin. Allow the skull to rest back on the mat. Hug the right thigh in and up towards so the knee is coming up towards the armpit, and the thigh is on the outer edge of the rib cage. So just keep drawing the thigh towards the outer edge of the rib cage. Flex the right toes strong up towards the knee and point through the left toes. Now, if this is not if you're not feeling the stretch at all, the option is to pop a block lengthways, so horizontally underneath the sacrum, to add that little bit more height. As you draw it in, you'll feel a little bit more tension through the hip flexor. Whichever option you have, stay with this for 5, for 3. Keep squeezing the thigh in and up towards the armpit, the knee towards the armpit. The inner edge of the thigh is best friends with the rib cage for 2, for 1. Slowly release the clasp, and I want you to wind the hip outwards. So as you draw the knee up towards the face, toes stay flexed. We turn the knee out towards the side, so we're opening the hip, and then inhale, slowly draw the knee back in towards the midline, as though we're drawing a semicircle out towards the side. So we're taking 3 more rounds for 3, so winding open for 2, last 1. Good, and then we'll change direction, moving in the opposite direction for 3, for 2, for 1. Inhale, squeeze the thigh in towards the chest, and here I want you to extend the leg up towards the sky. Heel reaches for the sky. Now, if you have the range to catch around the foot, I want you to find space in the hamstrings. So we're driving the heel towards the sky and strong flex of the toes towards the face, and you'll feel a strong line of tension behind the knee and behind the calf, probably in the hamstrings too. If we're not able, or we don't have the range to catch through the toes and we're finding a little bit of a bend through the legs, I want you to take your strap. Now, if you're using a strap that's not long enough, I want you to find, I'm not normally a stickler for straightness, but I want you to find the angle that allows you to feel a straightness from the ankle to knee and hip, so alignment. And then I want you to create that space, allow or accept the space or the opening through the back of that hamstring. I would prefer for your leg, the heel to be further away and for you to be finding the space in the back of the hamstring, alignment with ankle, knee, and hip, as opposed to being closer but with a bent knee, because then we're taking that stretch out of the hamstring. So I'm going to not use the strap for just this stretch for me, and just observing how this feels through the body, actively pressing the ball of the foot into the fingertips, or the strap, driving the heel upwards, flexing toes towards face. Stay with that sensation for 3, for 2, for 1. Take an inhale. As you exhale, keeping the strap around the sole of the foot, we'll take both handles of the strap into the left hand. Now, because the strap is quite short, I'm going to just loop the loop around the foot to give me a little bit more space. You can, keeping the left shoulder head and the left tricep or tricep on the mat, I want you to extend the right heel as far out towards the right as it will go without lifting that left shoulder head up. Again, keeping the left hand, you can use the right hand to assist you if you want, more so the left hand. Keep the left tricep on the mat, extending all the way out, pressing strong. Now, this position could be closer towards the face, further away, just as far out towards the right without touching the floor. Active pull through that left arm, actually active traction through the left tricep as you flex the toes towards the face. Again, if you don't need a strap here, you can extend the left arm out towards the side, right fingertips towards right toe, squeeze the right glute just to find that balance, the outer edge of the right glute, and we hold for 5, for 3, 2, for 1. Inhale, slowly come back up through center. We'll switch now, so we'll extend, if you're using the strap, extend the left arm out towards the side, keeping the right tricep down onto the mat, allowing the slack to extend the right foot as far over towards the left as possible without landing on the ground, keeping that resistance. Option 1. Option 2 is, if you're using the left hand, extend the right arm out. And this is before we touch down on the ground. So before the foot comes into that supine twist, we hold for 5, for 3, for 1. Take an inhale. As you exhale, release the strap. Come into your supine twist with an extended leg. So keeping the right leg extended out towards the side, and we gaze over towards the right thumb. Now, in your supine twist, the focus should be on melting that right shoulder head down, as opposed to allowing the right foot to land down on the mat. So just observing how this is in your body. If you're noticing that the right shoulder head is lifting up pretty high, you can bend at the knee and rather just take a hovering knee twist for here. And again, we're just staying with this for 3, for 2, for 1. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, first turn onto your left side body. Note that I'm keeping the right leg extended, so turn onto your left side body, and then slowly turn onto your belly. Come into your Sphinx posture, and we're keeping the right leg extended out towards the side. Come into your Sphinx posture, triceps traction to the outer edge of the rib cage, arch through the heart, create an L shape through the thumb and the index finger. Now, observing the right foot, so you have the option to bend at the knee if it's too much, like a half frog. ankle in line with knee, toes flex up, or you can keep the foot out towards the side, and you can explore whether to rest on the heel, the inner arch of the foot, or the spine, or you can keep, if you have the range and the flexibility, keep inching the heel beyond the shoulder heads, pulling the collarbones open. Stay with what you're observing through the hip space for 5, for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, slowly press into palms and walk the heel of the hands closer towards the hip points, arch through the heart. Curl the left ball of the foot under. And as you do this, staying on your left knee, drag the right heel in till we come into our Anjaneyasana with both hands, or our lunge position, both hands on the inner edge of that right foot. I want you to focus on really surrendering that left hip flexor down, so let it hang really heavy. Arch the heart forward, roll the shoulder heads back, and then slowly starting with a few hip tilts from left to right for 3, for 2, for 1, and then starting with our figures of 8, so we're rolling into figures of 8s or infinity sign. You can come off the ball of that right foot, you can press into the heel, and here there's no rules for the motion, it doesn't look a particular way, it's just a feeling. Stay with this for 3, for 2, for 1. Inhale, pull forward, both hands to the inner edge of the right foot, roll the shoulder heads back, press onto the ball of the left foot, float the left knee up, press onto fingertips here to give a little bit more height. Slow pulses through that left hip flexor to bring a little bit more fluid into the fascia, pulsing faster than my count for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, gaze forward, melt that hip flexor down, chin parallel to mat. Take an inhale. As you exhale, send the hips up and back, toes towards face. And I want you to feel that line of tension behind the right leg. Inhale, bend forward, bend into the right knee. Gaze forward. Take an inhale, As you exhale, send the hips up and back, toes towards face. And you may feel a little bit of tension here. Last round, inhale to bend forward, chin parallel to mat, hold. And now, as you exhale and send the hips back, I want you to bend into the elbows, send the hips back. Inhale, draw forward as you bend into the knee, bend into the elbows. Keep rolling forward and back for 5. Find a fluid flow for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Inhale, draw forward, melt the pubic bone down, gaze forward. Take an inhale. As you exhale, find your lizard lunge. Lower the forearms down towards the mat. Again, I'm not normally a stickler for positioning, but as much as you can get the right knee above right ankle and pressing onto the ball of that left foot. If it's too much, you can very gladly lower that left knee down, honoring what your body needs. Stay with this for 5, for 3. Keep driving that left heel away from you for 2, for 1. Press into the palms, gaze forward, push strong into the palms, reach the right leg up towards the sky. Scorpion the foot, bend into the knee. Wild thing, squat first. Wild thing, lift up, open up across the chest and the heart. Take an inhale. As you exhale, look down towards your left thumb. Lower the right palm down, reach the right leg up towards the sky. 3-legged downward facing dog. Scorpion charge, shift forward, move forward. So if you've never done a scorpion charge before, come into a high plank, so shoulder heads beyond fingertips, and then we create a scorpion tail. So bring the big toe on the right foot towards the back of the skull. Open the throat as though you're looking like a scorpion about to charge. Keep leaning forward, shoulder heads beyond fingertips. And then right knee towards nose. Keep the shoulders where they are, dome up towards the ceiling. Hold. Lower the right knee and right shin behind both wrists. Slide that left foot further away from you. So we're sitting on that right heel. Walk the hands next to hips. Press onto the ball of that left foot. Float the left knee up and we'll arch through the heart. Option 1, chin closed. Option 2, throat opens. Keep driving that left heel away from you Stay for 3, for 2. Inhale, slowly gaze forward. We're moving into Water Grove pose. So I might show you first. Keep holding this position, watch first, and then I'll guide you through it on the second round. So our Water Grove pose is where you'll take the palms 2 palms ahead of the knee, and as you lean forward, you'll float the left toes up. Hug triceps into the side of the body, look forward. So we're finding that scorpion charge forward chin. As you bend at the elbows, tap the chin down lightly. It's a very light tap down. Curl the right ball of the foot under. Press onto the ball of the foot, float the knee up, melt the chest down, slide the right foot away from you. Let the left foot follow. Lift up into a baby cobra, high cobra, extra breath. But we'll do that all together. So all together. From this position, palms go 2 palms ahead of where they currently are. Slow lean forward, left toes up towards the sky. Hug triceps in, bend at elbows, tap the chin down towards the mat. Curl the right toes under, float the right knee up, look forward. Slide the right foot away from you as you melt the chest down. Left foot comes next to right. Lift up into a baby cobra. Option, lift up into a high cobra. Take an extra breath. Exhale, slowly lower down, chest and chin, fingertips go wide, funky cobra, elbows come up. Inhale, slowly rise up through center. And as you exhale, I want you to draw circles with your nose and find your breath. So as you inhale, you'll reach up towards the top of the circle. And as you exhale, you'll slowly lower down. And if the neck gets loose here, it's fine. Simply meet me at the top of your 4th circle or your 4th round. And when you reach the top of your 4th round, press into fingertips, lengthen through the arms. Take an inhale. Exhale, slowly lower down. Bring the palms back next to chest. Lift the heart up, baby cobra, high cobra. As you exhale, anahatasana, hips come above the knees. We slide the palms forward and we rest on the chin or on the forehead, depending on what works best for you. And then long, slow, deep breaths. Option, if you want more, you can turn the palms up, flex fingertips towards the face. Keep melting the armpits down towards the mat. Stay with this for 5, for 3, for 1. Take an inhale. As you exhale, plant the palms, draw the palms slightly closer towards the body, and then we take 7 to 10 rounds of any intuitive movement. So intuitive movement, you can press hips out towards the left, hips out towards the right. Cat-cow variation, shifting forward and back, and just keep staying with this sensation of flow. So there's no right or wrong movement. Just imagine that you're bringing relief and release to the spine. It's almost like your body's asking you to move to the music that it's attuned to. And for each person, your tune or your music is quite unique. So I always guide people to close the eyes. I don't know better than what your body knows is best for you. Stay with this sensation of flow for 3, for 2, for 1. Inhale, draw forward, come into your high cobra. Melt the pubic bone down, roll the shoulder heads back, pull the heart forward. Now, option 1 is to stay here. As you find this position, roll the shoulder heads back, making sure that your pubic bone is connected to the mat. If this feels okay, you can set the knees slightly wider apart, float the shins up, point through the toes, open up across the chest and the heart, roll the shoulder heads back, stay with the breath for 3, for 2. Take an inhale. As you exhale, roll back, child's pose. Take 2 more rounds just like that, exploring the depth of the back bend. So as you inhale, slow draw forward, melt the pubic bone down, pull the heart forward. Option 1, high cobra. Option 2, toes towards the back of the head. Good, and then exhale. Slowly release all the way back, child's pose. This is your last round. You'll hold this one a little bit longer and explore a little bit differently. So as you inhale, slow draw forward, melt the pubic bone down, pull the heart forward, roll the shoulder heads back. We'll start by floating the left shin up, point through the left toes, hold. Then slowly start by floating the right shin up, point through the toes, stay with the breath, and let it be a slow, slow process. Take an inhale. As you exhale, flex the balls of the feet down towards the mat. Heels in, toes out, palms to chest. Come into your malasana. And we find height and we find pause. Take an inhale. As you exhale, plant the palms. Kick the right heel off towards the right side of the mat. Coming into our skandasana on the left, and then we shimmy from right to left. From right to left. Stay with this for 3. You can use hands, no hands, for 2. Faster or slower than my count for 1. Lower the palms, draw the right heel back in, heels in, toes out, malasana. Right hand will go behind the back, so we're coming off I'm just going to shift slightly further forward so I don't come out off the screen. Right hand goes behind the back, slide it all the way back, look towards the thumb, create enough space for the hips to rise up, arch through the heart, find your wild thing variation. Hope you can still hear me. Open up. Take an inhale. As you exhale, squat the hips back towards heels. Lower your left palm down. Cartwheel your right palm down. Heel toe the feet into hip distance. Now, we're going to work into the back line of the legs. So option here, press the heel of the hands down towards the mat. Dig into the heels of the feet, and we're lifting the toes up off the mat, or the balls of the feet up. Now, if this feels challenging, you can pop a block underneath the palms to create that little bit more space. Allow the crown of the head to rest really heavy down towards the mat. Good. Take an inhale. As you exhale, ground the balls of the feet. First 2 fingers around big toes. Inhale, half a look up. Exhale, bend into elbows, lower part of rib cage towards the tops of the thighs. And just finding a heaviness through the crown of the head. You can bend into knees, bend into elbows. We release fingers from toes and drag the hands up the fronts of the legs. Watch the hands as you do this, and as we lift the heart all the way up, shine the heart forward. 3 shoulder shrug forwards, 3 body rolls for 3, for 2, for 1. Inhale, slowly sweep the arms coming all the way up. And as you exhale, slowly fold down. Walk the palms forward, come into or step back into your downward facing dog. Slow pedal into the feet, dip into the hips, engage the muscles through the backs of the legs. When you feel that you've taken enough movement, find stillness in your downward facing dog. Come onto the balls of the feet, bend into the knees, dip both hips down towards the right, tent up onto left fingertips, hold. Inhale up through center, downward facing dog. Exhale, dip down towards the left, fingertips on right, hold. Inhale up through center. 5 rolls forward and back. As you inhale, come onto the balls of the feet, bend into the knees. Inhale, slow draw forward, high plank. Exhale, soft. Hip, bend into the knees, hips back towards heels. 4 more rounds. Inhale, slow draw forward. Exhale, slowly centered back for 3, for 2, for 1. We'll pause in our downward facing dog. Gaze up between the thumbs, come onto the balls of the feet. Inhale, slowly draw forward, come into your high plank. We're lowering knees, chest, and chin. So tap the knees down below the hips. Open the throat as though you're doing that scorpion charge, hug triceps in. Your chin is going to land 2 palms ahead of where the tops of your fingertips are. So just send the chin forward, 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 forward. Then push the heart down between the thumbs. Keep your gaze forward. Hug triceps or the elbows into the side body. Then push into palm, lift the chin up and the gaze up. Baby cobra, high cobra, take an extra breath. As you exhale, curl the balls of the feet under. Stay on forearms and palms or bring palms together, elbows out towards the side. Come into your dolphin. Ears between biceps. Ears between biceps. Knitting lower part of rib cage towards the tops of the thighs. If grounding the heels down feels too much, you can stay on the balls of the feet, bend into the knees, keep sending the hips up and back, or grounding the heels down or directing that energy from the heels down towards the mat. Gaze up towards your thumbs, and it's a slow tap down of the knees. Stay on the balls of the feet. Breaststroke the arms behind you, catch the backs of the heels, and it's a slow press of the hips forward. Find your camel pose. If you feel comfortable, you can untuck the feet, roll the shoulder heads back. You can also shift the hands towards the inner edges of the knees or the thighs. Keep the throat open. Slowly untuck the feet. Lower the sitting bones down, keeping your gaze back. And slowly, slowly take a seat. Hero pose, or you can sit on heels. It's entirely your choice. We'll take 5 long, slow, deep breaths. Allow the hands to rest at the dantian. Observing the beauty of this moment as it is. I can hear the birds. I can hear someone playing music. I can hear someone cleaning. And so there's a fullness in this moment without you even needing to do anything. Life has a fullness to it. Take a deep breath in and a soft sigh out. Peel the eyes open. So there are 2 ways to come out of this so that we can start from the top. The first way is to go into that heroes or seated pose. So take the sitting bones between the heels, and as you lean back, you can scoop the heels in, and I'll just roll down. Come onto your back, hug the thighs in towards the chest. If that doesn't work for you, the other option from sitting on the heels is take both sitting bones over towards the left or the right off the heels. You can use the hands to help you as you sweep the heels around and recline onto the back. Hug the thighs in towards the chest. Nose in towards the knees. Create a tiny ball out of the body. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, release the legs down towards the mat, soles of the feet together, knees out towards the side, and coming into your Supta Baddha Konasana second round. Again, you can assess whether you wish to have the hands behind the head, or one hand on heart, or one hand on belly. And again, only you know what you need. The only thing, if you do have the hands behind the head, I want you to become hyper conscious of your breath, the quality of the breath that you're giving to this moment. Let it be rich and full-bodied. No skimping, so really feel the breath rising all the way up to the clavicle in the collarbone, and then allowing it to rest all the way back down. Good. On your next inhale, slowly squeeze the knees closer together. Extend your right heel down towards the bottom edge of the mat, hugging around your left knee and thigh, so hugging the thigh in and up towards the rib cage. Flex the toes up towards the face, strong point through the right toes. And again, we're hugging towards the outer edge of the rib cage. If you want here, I really messed up. I didn't bring a block with me. So if you want, you can pop a block horizontally underneath the sacrum, so on the bony bit, and this will add a little bit more weight to the stretch if you're not quite feeling this through the hip flexors. That added height underneath the hip will add in a little bit more tension. Stay with this for 5. I'll wait for you to grab a block if you need one for 4. For 3. For 1. Take an inhale, squeeze everything in. As you exhale, release the hands, and we're going to draw the knee out towards the side. So as though you're doing a semicircle, knee in and up towards the crown of the head, and then out towards the side for 2. Good, and then your last one. And then we'll change direction for 3, for 2, for 1. I've got a little bit of crunching going on. Oh. And then pause, extend the heel up towards the ceiling, and this is where you'll grab your strap. So option, whether you require your strap or you're using the fingers to support the foot. We're driving the heel beyond the crown of the head, toes towards face. So depending where you're at, I want you to guide or drive with the heel, toes towards face as much as possible. If we've got the strap, whether you're using your mat strap or a strap, just looping around, allow as much slack as possible to give space to the hamstring, so the hamstring has space to move into. And I really love this idea of giving space or allowing the space through the hamstring. You're creating, the way that my brain imagines it, is that you're creating passage for breath or for movement or for flexibility. And we take a deep breath in, keep hugging, keep holding, keep noticing all the sensations, exploring the depth of your range for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale up through center, using the strap, taking the handle into the right hand, pressing the tricep and the elbow down towards the mat, flexing the toes towards the face, and we're sending the heel as far out wide towards the left as possible. Again, if we have the range to catch the toe with the left hand, the left toes with left hand, we're here, and we extend the right arm out towards the side. And you can also draw the toes more towards the crown of the head. Stay with this for 5, for 3. Actually, we'll stay a little bit longer. And then we inhale, slowly rise back up through center. And we'll switch sides now. So using the strap in the left hand, bend at the elbow, and we're drawing the left foot as far over towards the right as we can go without landing the foot. Again, if we have the range, it's more so to feel into the stretch. Now you can flex up with your right toes, the bottom leg, or you can use your right hand on the left toes as you find that supine twist. Again, bringing your awareness to the left shoulder head, melting it down towards the mat. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lower the left foot down, and we're slowly going to roll. You can release the strap. We're going to find that supine twist. Again, if it's too much, you can bend at the knee. Find your bent knee, supine twist, support of a block underneath the knee if you need. This is a less active posture. Take an inhale. As you exhale, turn onto your right side body. And then very gently roll onto your belly. Sphinx pose, triceps frame around the rib cage, L shape through the thumb and the index finger. Now, paying attention to your left leg, you can either bend into the knee. So you can either bend into the knee, half frog. You can extend the leg out in line with the hip. You can draw the heel up higher than the shoulder, depending on what works best for you and where you're feeling it most. Triceps into side of rib cage, L shape through the thumb and the index finger, arching the heart forward. You can curl the ball of the right foot and right knee for a little bit more stability. Good. Slowly press into the palms and walk the heel of the hands closer towards the hips. Lift the heart up. And just curling the right ball of the foot under if you haven't already, dragging the left heel to frame around the left pinky, and we'll find our lunge position. So bring the palms more towards the inner edge of the left foot. Surrender the right hip down. And we slowly take sways from left to right, swaying the hip from left to right, finding a softness through the hips for 3, for 2, for 1, and then taking our figures of 8. So you can roll forward and roll back for 5, for 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, slowly draw forward, press into the palms, press into the ball of the foot. Now you can press into the fingertips, chin parallel to mat. We pulse faster than my count into that right hip flexor for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, pull the collarbones open, take an inhale. Exhale, send the hips up and back, toes towards face. Inhale, bend into the left knee, chin parallel to mat. Exhale, send the hips up and back, toes towards face. Hold, feeling that line of tension behind the leg. On this round, as you inhale, bend into the left knee. You'll bend into the elbows as though you're going to lower the forearms down, then straighten through the left leg, and we'll take 5 consecutive rounds for 5. Roll forward, lean back for 4, for 3, for 2, For one, pause at the top. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lower the forearms down, come into your lizard lunge. Keep driving the right heel away from the body. Keep hugging the left knee in towards the armpit. Again, just assessing whether left knee is above left ankle. Pause. Slowly press into the palms, push strong into the palms, ball of the right foot. Reach the left leg up towards the sky, three-legged downward facing dog. Scorpion the foot, bend into the knee. Wild thing, squat first. Wild thing, lift up, open up across the chest and the heart. Stay with the stretch. Look down towards your right thumb, lower your left palm down. Reach the left leg up towards the sky. Take an inhale. Scorpion charge, shift forward, move forward, gaze forward, pause. Left knee in towards nose, tiger curl, squeeze it in. Lower the left knee behind the wrists. I'm just going to shimmy more towards the top edge of the mat. And we're on the ball of that right foot, knee stays off the mat, roll the shoulder heads back. Option, throat stays closed, or we can open the throat, take the gaze back. Keep pressing strong into the ball of that right foot. Press the heel away from you for 3, for 2, for 1. Inhale, slowly gaze forward. Palms go 2 palms ahead of that left knee. We'll do this one all together as you lean forward. Now, I just want to make sure that you can see me. Lean forward, float the right toes up. Look forward, hug the triceps into the body. So we hug in. As you bend at the elbows, tap the chin down lightly. Curl the left ball of the foot under. Float the left knee up. Push the chest down, keep the gaze forward. Slide the left foot away from the body. Let the right foot follow down. If you need to do that again, you can rewind. Take your time. Inhale, slowly lift up, baby cobra, gaze forward, or high cobra. And find that opening across the chest and across the heart. Take an inhale. As you exhale, slowly, slowly lower down. Chin and chest lowers all the way down. Fingertips go wide, funky cobra, elbows come up. Inhale, slowly lift up through center, find height through the crown of the head. We inhale, so we're drawing circles in the opposite direction, anti-clockwise. Inhale to rise up and find your fluid motion for 3. Moving fast or slow for 2. For 1. Good. On your last round, inhale, slowly reach up through center. Take an inhale. As you exhale, slowly lower down. Bring the palms next to chest. Lift up, baby cobra, high cobra. And then as you exhale, hips above knees, Anahatasana. And we slide the arms forward, melt the chest down. Stay with your breath for 5. Option, flex the fingertips back towards the face. Press the armpits down towards the mat, palms press against the wall for 4, for 3, 2, and 1. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lower the palms, draw the palms closer to the body. And we take 7 to 10 rounds of any intuitive movement. We can press hips out towards the left. Hips out towards the right. Cat-cow variation, shifting forward and back. Again, tuning into the inner rave or the inner knowing. For 3, for 2, for 1. Inhale, slow draw forward, come into your high cobra, melt the pubic bone down, roll the shoulder heads back. Find that space. Press into the tips of the fingertips and pin the shoulder heads back. Take an inhale. As you exhale, rock back, child's pose. Second round, inhale, slow roll forward, melt the pubic bone down, roll the shoulder heads back, stay with your breath for 3, for 2, for 1, exhale, rock back. Last round, this round we'll float the shins up. So as you inhale, slow draw forward, melt the pubic bone down, shoulder heads back, knees splay out, point through the toes, float the shins up, arch through the heart, stay with your breath. As you exhale, flex the balls of the feet down towards the mat, heels in, toes out, use the hands to support you, Malasana. Take an inhale. As you exhale, plant the palms. Kick your left heel far off the side of the mat. And we're going to shimmy from left to right. We're going to shimmy from left to right. Staying with your breath for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly coming back to center. Heels in, toes out, palms to chest. Good. And I'm going to shimmy a little bit further forward so I don't come off the screen. Left hand goes behind the left hip. Slide it all the way back. Press into the palms. Pull the heart forward. Take an inhale. As you exhale, squat the hips back towards heels. Lower the right palm down. Left to follow. Heel toe the feet into hip distance. Press into the heels of the feet, float the balls of the feet up. Allow a heaviness in the crown of the head. Option to use your block here underneath the palms if you need. Sliding the palms underneath the soles of the feet. Inhale, half a look up, lengthen. Exhale, bend at the elbows, lower part of rib cage towards the tops of the thighs. Releasing the hands from feet. Drag the hands up the fronts of the legs. I want you to watch the hands as you do this, as you lift the heart all the way up, all the way up, all the way up. As you pull the heart open, 3 body rolls as you shrug the shoulder heads back. For 3, for 2, for 1. Inhale, sweep the arms coming all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Walk the hands forward, press the feet back, come into your downward facing dog, pedal into the feet, dip into the hips, engage the muscles through the backs of the legs. When you feel ready, 5 rolls forward and back, coming onto the balls of the feet, bend into the knees, inhale, slow draw forward, high plank. Exhale, soft, bend into the knees, hips back towards heels, taking 4 more rounds for 4. Imagining the body as a wave. On your last round, press back into your downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward, come into your high plank. Lower the knees down, hug the triceps in, knees, chest, and chin. The chin goes 2 palms ahead of fingertips, then push the heart down. Gaze towards the tip of the nose. Push into the heel of the hands. Rise the chest up, baby cobra, high cobra, extra breath. Curl the balls of the feet under. Bend at the elbows, lower the forearms down, bring the palms together, send the hips up and back. Come into your dolphin. Just going to adjust ears between biceps. An option again, if the heels are not touching the ground for you, that's all good. Bend into the knees and keep sending ears between biceps. Keep sending sitting bones towards the sky. Keep driving heels down towards the mat. Stay with your breath for 3, for 2, for 1. Gaze forward. It's a light tap down of the knees, staying on the balls of the feet. So keeping the toes curled under. Breaststroke the hands towards the backs of the heels, and it's a slow roll up. Option, you can untuck the feet here, pull the heart forward. Slide the hands towards the inner edges of the thighs. You can press the heels together. Melt the crown of the head down. And then slowly untuck the feet, keeping the gaze back. As long as you need, lower the sitting bones down. Bring the gaze up last. And just take a moment to catch your breath. The rushing, the pinging, the birds, the cars, the people, the duties, the responsibilities, the everything, and just let it all go in your next exhale. Let your breath have a voice and let it speak. Let it loosen the grip around the things that are expected of you, and let it soften and surrender to this moment. Now, if this is not a comfortable position for you, I want you to take any other comfortable seated meditative pose. Allow the hands to rest in the middle of the lap, relaxing the shoulders, the tongue, the eyelids, the fingertips, everything. Take a gentle breath in and a gentle breath out. Peel the eyes open. Option, you can come out of this posture exactly how you did on the other side. So option, hero's pose, squeeze the heels in, hug the thighs in towards the chest, or you can take the sitting bones either off towards the left or the right. Sweep the heels all the way around, hug the thighs in towards the chest, nose in towards the knees, create a tiny ball out of the body. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, slowly release everything. Coming into your final resting position or Savasana, taking up as much space as you need. Now I want you to stay in your Shavasana while you continue listening to the sound of my voice. I want you to feel the heaviness in your body, heaviness that allows a softness, where you relax the tension of holding on to anything. And that tension comes from how we think things should be, that expectation. And I want you to release it with your next long, slow, deep breath in. And gentle breath out. And then I want you to allow your breath to soften from this point. Let everything that you observe about your breath become as effortless as the breeze or the sound of the bird. It's just all there and it's all happening. And there's nothing more real and beautiful than it in this moment. Connecting to how your body feels. Connecting to the depth of the breath of which you're reaching. It's these tiny, microscopic moments that create the kaleidoscope of the richness and experience of the experience that we get to have. All of it is a choice that comes from our option to create or co-create with the wonder that is around us. And I know, trust me, that sometimes it feels as though we're free falling and we can't control anything because we can't. And that is, no matter how hard we try, there's always something else. But for this moment right here, let it be everything. Full, rich, and deep. And stay with the knowing that beyond this point, nothing else is needed. Let the presence that you offer beyond this moment be the same gift that you're experiencing now. Let your presence to others, no matter the circumstance or situation, become full, rich, and deep. Please continue resting in your Savasana. Allow the body to assimilate and digest. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, thank you, thank you.